Good evening, everyone watching us out there. My name is Garuba Fizolumide. I'm from Voice of the Farmer, and today this is another episode of a content, or let me say, a training for our farmers on our Facebook community. What we did last week was just that we started with the basic things that you need to do when it comes to vegetable farming, and today we are going to be talking about snail farming. But unfortunately, we are supposed to be having a guest in the studio today, joining us from the other hand, but unfortunately, the person is not feeling too well. But notwithstanding, we will not say because it's not feeling too well, we're not going to be doing something, or probably we're not going to be giving you the content we need to talk to you about. Probably we can be talking to you maybe in just a slight mode, not too deep as what he's going to be talking about. Since we are looking at today is how to start a profitable snail farming business. And one of the things why we are trying to do this is just that you might be a crop farmer, you might be a fish farmer, you might be anything, and probably I do say this every time that you should not put all your eggs in one basket, and that is why we are trying to see how can we diversify to other business as well, and that is what we are doing here at Voice of the Farmer. And last week I know some of us joined the podcast station with Mr. Emeka, where he was talking to us about what some of the things we need to know when it comes to vegetable farming. And I know the comment I got after the program, some people were saying, yes, Olumide, thank you for doing this because we really want to know about some things we can do aside from what to do as our business. And today we'll be talking about something very important as well, something you want to learn from. I do say this that that's your backyard. Even if not your backyard, you have a farm already. A little space there, you can start something. I was on a farm yesterday in Ifo. Yes, I saw a pen, a snail pen, where the person just, I think it's not abandoned, but probably they mismanaged it and it's not really working well again. But now, I think it's something that you can revive and you can start something. Now, we'll be talking about how can you start a snail farming business. Sorry, don't mind the background noise. I just need to find a place to come and do this because it is very important. I don't want to disappoint. That was why I'm trying to come up with something like this. I'm very sure by next week, our guests should be fine and be able to give us more information about what we need to do when it comes to snail farming. And today, we'll be looking at what are the basic things you need to put in place when you're talking about snail farming. Now, everybody knows snail is just like a small creature. Nobody knows that snail is going to be as profitable as this now. Then while we are going up, we see snail as something that you just go to the backyard and pick, especially when it is the rainy season. You just and pick snail at your backyard and then you can cook. But now it's even more than that because now you study what snail is. And we are talking about the species, you are talking about the breed, you are talking about the value chain in snail farming. Now you need to see what it looks like. And now today I have with me, I'm not just talking with my mouth alone. I have a snail because I'm also a snail farmer as well, and that was why I'm taking this course this morning, this afternoon, just to give you a basic knowledge about what snail look like. So now we have different stages in snail. Let me start with that. Some of us don't really understand that yes, there are stages in snail, and also there are sizes in snail as well. Now I have a bigger snail here with me. This is a jumbo size. This is it. Look at it. Look at how big this, and look at this. This is point of lay, and this is a jumbo size snail. Now, when I say jumbo, this point of lay definitely is also going to grow to jumbo size. But let me take you through the life cycle of snail. Now, the snail started from eggs. Yes, eggs. For probably if you are following my videos online, you see where I show eggs of snails. Yes, they started from eggs, and after they lay the eggs, it takes snail 21 days to hatch their eggs. It takes them 21 days to hatch their eggs. And how do you hatch? Normally, they hatch artificially, but they need soil to assist them in hatching. When they're in their habitat, and then what they do is just dig a hole and put the egg there. Then they go there often and often just to maybe to water and do some other stuff. But after 21 to 23 days, you see the baby snail coming out, which is called the hatchlings. Now, that is the first stage of the snail. It's the snail lay eggs. Someone said, do we have male and female snail? No, snails are actually hermaphrodite. They have both the male and female organ in one snail. And what do they do when they want to meet? Yes, they also meet as well, but it's not as if it's not common, it's not obvious like that. What they do is just when you see them stringing together, coming together, what they do is just that there will be a sperm that will be released from one snail. So one will release the sperm, and while the other one will absorb the sperm. Why doing that process is called production method. So the two snails that stick together will have that tendency of laying eggs. The two snails that stick together have that tendency of laying eggs. That is just it. So you don't have a female, you don't have a male. There is no reproductive organ for male and there's no reproductive organ for female. So they have that chance of laying eggs. That is why we call them hermaphrodite. So after the laying of the eggs and you hatch the eggs, I'll be taking you some process, maybe some other videos. So how do you hatch artificially yourself? In the bush, in the habitat, they do that hatching themselves. But here, when you are doing it at your backyard, you can do the hatching, you can do the incubation yourself. So after you incubated them for like 21 to 23 days, they hatch to hatchlings. So from that hatchlings, they grow little by little, they grow little by little to the baby snail. From baby snail, they grow to grower. From the grower, they go to the table side and the point of lay. From the point of lay, they go to they go to the table size. From table size to the jumbo size, which is the bigger one that I'm holding now. But one of the things we need to understand as a snail farmer is just that you need to know the cycle of your snail. You need to know the cycle of your snail. It is very, very, very important. Very, very important. You need to know the cycle of your snail. So the cycle started from eggs. From the eggs, after the eggs, it goes to the baby snail. After the baby snail, to the hatchlings. From the hatchlings to the grower. From the grower, it goes to the table size, and from the table size, it grows to the jumbo size. And that is what we have when it comes to the stages of snail. Now, some of us that are doing snail, we don't really understand what are we doing the snail farming for. So you need to identify, why am I doing the snail farming? Is it for meat production? Is it for slime extraction? And is it for point of lay? What do I mean by that? Some of us, let's look at the pig section. Because when you do your pig, it might be you are doing it for meat production, or you are doing it for maybe you are doing it for selling out the piglets, and also maybe you are doing it for, maybe you want to use it for exotic breeds as well. So also in snail as well, you can also do your snail for either for meat production, either for slime extraction, and either for maybe you want to also be making point of lay. And now, which one is more profitable now? To be sincere with you, everybody knows that snail is big men. Let me say big men meat. Now, person will get money now in the eat snail, because snail is not that less expensive as what we think. Snails are expensive, but what can make snail to be less expensive, like to be the price should be reduced, is, let's say I have a snail, you have a snail, you have a snail. When all of us are going into snail farming, then definitely the price is going to be reduced and it's going to go down. Did you understand? So, but for now, the price is not too affordable like that. But notwithstanding, some people still buy snail. So now, if they are going for meat production, because the meat is low in fat as well. So you can, and sometimes they will even ask all these old women, old mama, and maybe grandpa to be eating snail, because it has low cholesterol as well. It doesn't have too much fat. So but it is very, very expensive, but not too expensive that it is not affordable. What I'm trying to say is just that if you are thinking of which you want to go into, you can go into the meat production aspect of snail farming, which is for you raising it from maybe from the hatchlings to the grower, from grower to the table size, and also to the jumbo size as well, because people want bigger snail. But you need to go through a lot of stress before you get them to that stage. Now, one thing I want to also tell us about snail is just that their growth rate is very, very slow. In case you don't know, if you are going into snail and someone is telling you that in the next 2 months your snail is going to be bigger, I've never seen any booster you are going to give to your snail that will make them grow bigger in 2 months. It's not possible. That means you need to wait for like 6, 7, even sometimes close to 8, 9 months before you can achieve this size, this jumbo size that I'm holding. You need to wait for like 9 months, sometimes even a year, because their growth is very, very slow. And now, what can you now give to your snail that will make them grow faster? Now, snails also have compounded feed. Looking at this snail, you can see this is their feces, but in their feces, you will see that they are not just feeding on leaves alone. I have compounded feed which I give to them as well. So snails also feed on compounded feed as well, just to enhance their growth. But no matter how you enhance their growth, they will still grow slow. But it can only increase the growth rate a little bit, because snails are creatures that just go slow. Their growth is very, very slow. So if you are going for meat production, you need to be very patient. So you want to be a snail farmer, you must have that act that, yes, I will be patient for this thing to grow. Now let's talk about the breeds that we have in snail. Now remember I said I was just trying to make this lively and also I don't want to disappoint you. That is why I'm coming up with this show. I have someone that will take us through this process. Yes, it is my field, but I feel bringing someone to come and talk about it is going to be very fine. That was why I'm bringing Mr. Adejimo. But unfortunately, Mr. Adejimo is not feeling too well, and that is why I'm taking us through some basic things we need to know when it comes to snail farming. Now we have talked about life cycle, that is from egg to hatchlings, that is from egg to baby snail to hatchlings to grower, from grower to table size, and from table size to the jumbo size. So from there, we also talk about the feeding aspect of it. That as snail, if you want them to grow faster, you need to give them compounded feed, or you give them something that will make them to grow faster. But remember, snail growth is very, very slow. Snail growth is very, very slow. Don't let anybody tell you that, yes, in the next 2 months, your snail is going to grow faster. These are some of the tips I want our Facebook community members should hold, that snail growth is very, very slow. But notwithstanding, when you are very patient and you do what we call proper management, definitely within few months, or let me say by 7, 8, 9 months, you are supposed to get what you are supposed to get at the end of the day. And now this is another thing I want us to also know as well. I said you can also do your snail for either meat production, either you are talking about hatchlings, or you are talking about the slime. What do I mean by slime? Now that water that comes out from snail is what we call slime. Some people do it for slime extraction, whereby they extract that slime and make sure they preserve it and use it for some other things as well. You know, they use it for cosmetics, they use it for anything spa. People at the spa also use the slime as well. So you can do your own snail farming for either slime or this. Now, what do you need to do when it comes to snail farming? That is breed selection. You know, when you have understand which one are you doing it for. Is it for meat consumption? Is it for slime extraction? Now you need to understand what are the breeds of snail. Now we have many breeds of snail, but the common one here is three. The first one is what we call Achatina, that is AA. We have Achatina marginata, that is AM, and we have Achatina fulica, that is AF. Now, Achatina, that is AA, is not common here in Nigeria, but it's called giant snail, which grow very much well, very good in Ghana. Yes, they grow even more bigger than this jumbo size that we have here. And we also have Achatina marginata, that is AM. Yes, and this is the one I'm holding with me. This Achatina marginata. You can see, looking at the down part here, you are going to see that it's not pointed. Yes, it is just round. That is what we call Achatina marginata. And you can see sometimes it is either yellow or pinkish here. Look at this. This is pinkish. So this is what we call Achatina marginata. But for Achatina is just like a tiger shape like that. It's different from this, but it grows very bigger than this. That is what I want you to know. And the next one is Achatina fulica. We don't have it here, but it always has a pointed. Most of the time, the one we always see at our backyard is Achatina fulica that has this pointed distance and doesn't grow bigger as this. Did you understand it now? So Achatina fulica is very good for slime extraction. Achatina fulica is very, very good for slime extraction. Did you get it now? Achatina fulica is good for slime extraction, and it is something that you need to do when you want to do what we call slime extraction. So Achatina fulica is the best one for the slime extraction. So, but Achatina marginata is good for when we are talking about meat production. Yes, you want to do meat production. Achatina marginata is the best one. And how do you know that this is Achatina marginata? You are going to see that the meat is going to be crunchy. Look at it. When you are touching the meat here, it's going to be very, very crunchy. That means that when you cook this, you're going to get exactly what you have as the meat. It's not going to reduce. That is Achatina marginata, and it is always crunchy. But if it's Achatina fulica, the meat is always somehow soft, and that is why when you cook them, they reduce in size. But the best one for meat production is Achatina marginata. Achatina marginata. Now, let's talk about the snail pen, and that is where we are going to be rounding up the show today. I'm very sure when Mr. Kayode Adejimo comes around, you'll be able to ask a lot of questions from him. So the snail pen, you can go for either greenhouse, or you can go for the trenches, or you can go for the hunch box. When I say greenhouse, the normal greenhouse, you know, you can also grow snail there. Just make sure you plant something that they feed on. What do snail feed on? They feed on vegetables, they feed on banana, they feed on many things. Cucumber, watermelon, anything, they feed on them. Yes, and the only thing they don't feed on is salt. Don't give them food that has salt, because salt is poisonous to snail. But we can give them leftover food like amala, eba, and some other stuff. But anything that has food that has salt in it, they don't like it. It's a poison to them. And another thing is that you can also give them compounded feed as well. Yes, now we are talking about the housing. I said greenhouse. Yes, they grow inside greenhouse. What you just need to do is just give them that conducive environment and make sure that, yes, they are doing very great there. You know, when you give them that conducive environment to plant vegetables, you plant banana, you plant many things inside that confined environment, they grow very fast there. And the next one is trenches. You know, that is the one you have with blocks. Now, that was one I saw yesterday in the farm I went in Ifo. They have the trenches, where they grow them in the trenches. They put soil there, and they have what we call mulching materials. And the next one is the box, that is the orange box, where you have a box that you put maybe a few snails there and they're going to grow. Either you go soil snail farming, or you go for the soilless snail farming as well. So anyone you do, it's fine. Now we are going to be rounding up the show today. I don't just want to bore us with too much talk. When the experts come to talk about it, I'm also an expert in snail farming, but I don't want to bore us too much. I want someone else to come and talk to us about it, so that we are going to be learning a lot from it. Just for me to recap, we talk about the life cycle of snail. We said the snail started from eggs. From eggs, they go to the baby snail, which is the hatchlings. From the hatchlings to the grower, from the grower to the stable size, and from stable size they grow to the jumbo. That is the biggest one. And we also talk about the species of snail that we have. We said we have Achatina marginata, we have Achatina fulica. And I said, you need to understand, what am I doing my snail for? Is it for meat consumption? Is it for point of lay? And is it for slime extraction? Once you understand this, that will give you a guide on which kind of breed you need to go for, because Achatina fulica is good for slime extraction, while Achatina marginata is good for meat consumption. That is for meat consumption. And I said, when you see them, they look very crunchy. That is the meat. It looks very, very crunchy here. And I said, I also spoke about the feed. You can give them vegetables. Yes, vegetables, cucumber, watermelon, carrots, banana. They love it. But don't give them food that has salt, because salt is like a poison to them. I also spoke about the housing system. We're talking about the trenches. We talk about the greenhouse, and we also talk about the box. That is the orange box. Anyone you want to do, what you just need to do is just that, know the one you want to do, and you should know your capital. That is, what are you starting for? But we'll be running up with this statement that snail growth is very, very slow. Don't let anybody tell you that snail is going to grow in the next 2 months. No, it takes like 6, 7, 8, even sometimes a year before they grow to the size that you're looking at. So till I come your way next time, I'll be bringing in our guest that will be talking to us about how to start a profitable snail farming. My name is Garuba Afosolumide once again. I'm a snail farmer, and I'm advocating that people should start doing snail at their backyard. Even you want to go in last production, just make sure you know the right thing, understand the species, the breed, and also the housing system they're going to be using. Till I come your way next time, my name is Garuba Afosolumide once again. Just make sure you start sharing this video, like, comment, and make sure you share to your fellow members, the fellow farmers. Remember, we are trying to diversify. That is why we are coming up with this content. Diversify into other things that is going to give us money. We are not putting all our eggs in one snail. Does it mean that their feed does it mean their feed no salt? I don't understand this question very well, but what I'm trying to say is just that one thing that can kill your snail is salt, because it is poisonous to them. Poisonous to them. When you give them rice that has salt, you are expecting they will definitely die. Or when you give them any food that has salt content in it, they will die. Did you get it now? So make sure the food you are going to be giving them, you can give them semo that doesn't have salt. You can give them eba that doesn't have salt. You can give them anything, but there must not be salt content in their food. There must not be salt content in their food. Yes, the food you make for them, even the compounded feed, there is no salt there. There must not be salt, because salt is like a poison to them. You must not give them salt. It is poisonous to them. But other food that doesn't have salt, even if you want to give them rice, this rice must not have salt. You want to give them anything, it must not have salt, because salt is a poison to snail. I'm very sure next time when Mr. Adejima is going to be taking us through this process, where you need to know more about snail farming, I know it's going to be more interesting than this. Till I come your way next time, I know if you have more questions to ask, just drop your comments, your question at the comment section. I'm going to definitely reply to them. Till I come your way next time, my name is Garuba Afosolumide. I say bye-bye and God bless.